Hi guys, as you probably know, every now and again I go through these manic culling, decluttering phases in my life, and I go through the house and get rid of a lot of stuff. And what tends to trigger this desire to do this is when I'm feeling a little bit suffocated, overwhelmed, really distracted, and have just lost my sense of tranquility and focus. And when this comes up, I know it's time to stop, take a step back, breathe, and work out what is going on and what I need to do to fix this feeling of anxiety or stress or, as I said, simple suffocation. This video is about how I declutter my life, the process that I go through, the questions that I ask, the things that I need to learn about so I don't make the same mistakes again, and the benefits that it adds to my life. Now, when I have gone through a decluttering, culling process, I feel so much better. I feel so much lighter. I have a much better sense of focus and concentration. My life and my home just seem so much more calm and tranquil. And it also, from a practical perspective, makes keeping my home tidy really easy, because I believe when you have a tidy home, you feel inspired to keep it that way. And when it does come to cleaning my house, because there's less stuff and junk around, it makes cleaning so much easier and so much faster. So when it comes to decluttering, the first thing I do is I break it down. I don't just try and declutter or minimalize or cull my whole entire home in one go. That's just unrealistic, very time consuming, and even to me, who's obsessed with this, it just impractical. Anyway, the first thing I do is I break it down into baby steps. Now, I'm slightly OCD. I'm obsessed with the number 10. I don't know why or how long I've had this problem. But what I will do is, if I'm feeling like I need to just get back in control and take charge of things again, I will simply say to myself, find 10 things around you that are causing distraction, making you feel bad, depleting your energy, frustrating you, not serving you or adding any value, or things that you don't love anymore. And I simply either give them away, sell them, donate them, throw them in the bin. It's as simple as that. But breaking it down into baby steps makes it so much more achievable, and it stops you building it up in your head as a bigger task than what it really is. Now, just because I'm obsessed and I do it in numbers of 10, there are other ways that you can break it down. For example, you could focus on decluttering one drawer at a time, or one wardrobe at a time, or even one room at a time. But break it down so that you feel comfortable and you feel like it's a task that you could easily manage, doesn't intimidate you, or doesn't give you the feeling of procrastination. So that is a great way of just slowly embarking or leaning into decluttering or minimalism in your life. Number 2, I use a cupboard. Now, when it comes to decluttering, and there are a couple of things that I'm not too sure about getting rid of, I will put it in a cupboard for between, say, 3 weeks to, say, I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks, to make sure I'm definitely not going to regret it. I think only once I have ever regretted selling something was a beautiful pair of shoes. Other than that, I honestly couldn't even remember what I've gotten rid of or thrown away or donated and sold. Once it's gone, it's out of my mind, and I'm very happy to let it go out into the world and live happily ever after with someone who is going to appreciate my stuff. In this video, I'm actually going to show you some things that I've just gotten rid of. The third thing I do is I actually look at each item without taking too much time and ask myself a series of questions like, what is this? When did I last use this? Is this something of value or appreciation in my life? Do I have something that actually does the same thing, or is the same thing, or multiple things of the same thing? Do I really need this? Is this taking up space, valuable space in my life? How does it make me feel when I use it or wear it? Does it fit correctly? Is it comfortable? Is it damaged in any way that stops me from using it? Finally, does it have any sentimental value? Now, answering these questions in my mind quickly helped me work out whether it's something I can get rid of in my life. The fourth thing that I do that helps making decluttering in my life easier is I go wide. I don't just dedicate the decluttering process to my home. I go through my car and get rid of a lot of stuff there, because having Rocco, my car tends to be a traveling storage unit. I also go through my office, and I also don't forget all those little bits within the home. For example, the freezer, the fridge, the pantry, in the laundry, all the sort of funny little nooks and crannies that things can quickly I guess, be a magnet for attracting stuff that we forget about until we open it up and discover, whoa, there's a lot of stuff being dumped here over time. And the fifth and final thing that I ask myself when I'm going through the decluttering process, which helps me having to do the decluttering process a lot less often, is I look at the lesson that I need to learn while doing this. When you go through a deculling process, it is quite emotional. It's quite cathartic. You find things that maybe trigger memories. It actually is really invigorating as you like let go of a whole pile of stuff in your life. There's a whole roller coaster of emotions, but it's important that we actually take the time not to just get rid of stuff, but actually learn and grow from the process. So when I'm getting rid of stuff, I ask myself, why did I buy this? What was it that made me buy it? What can I avoid doing next time? What things do I need to look for next time I'm buying an item like this? Is this something that I ever really needed in the first place? And what made me think that I did need it? Because then I know to not listen to that lesson next time when I get tempted to go and buy that item. There is so much to learn when you're going through a minimalizing, decluttering process. You learn a lot about yourself and your values and what you actually love, value, use, and appreciate. An amazing insight can come from there. So to demonstrate how I go through this process, I'm actually going to show you some things that I've gone through my house today that I'm getting rid of. So the first thing is I went through my kitchen and I found, for example, an odd saucepan lid. I don't know where its matching partner is, but this is actually creating clutter, and every time it actually takes up space in my kitchen drawer. So every time I'd shut the drawer in a hurry, it would always catch and damage and squish everything around. So I don't know why I've been putting off getting rid of this for so long, but it feels good to finally acknowledge it, realize that it's annoying me and distracting me, and letting it go. Next thing is this potato mash. Now, I don't know when I last used this, but I have a Thermomix, so if I'm gonna make mashed potato or sweet potato mash is what I prefer, I don't actually need this. So again, it's a waste of space in the drawers in my kitchen. Next thing is these kitchen scales. Now, these are actually broken, but I didn't even realize they were broken until the other day when Rocco was playing with them. But again, I have a Thermomix, so if I do need to weigh something, I will weigh it within that. So this, again, is creating a lot of space and bulk in my kitchen drawers that I simply do not need. And again, if it's broken, it needs to go anyway. Next place I went through is my bathroom cabinet. Now, I do this regularly because I don't my bathroom cabinet's quite small. I don't like having too much stuff, but I went through the medication drawers and I found some medication that I do not need anymore, and it's actually expired anyway, so it's actually quite dangerous to have in the house. So that felt great, just going through that. One other thing when you do go through the decluttering culling process is you tend to tidy as you go. So by the time you're finished with a particular area, you tend to leave it looking quite organized and neat and tidy and presentable, which is a good feeling. Now, the other areas that I want to share with you where I have recently decluttered is actually in my wardrobe. Now, for example, these white jeans, which you would have seen in some of me wearing some of my videos. I've been umming and ahhing about these for a long time. I've actually put on a little bit of weight and the zip is starting to show around the hips. So I've decided finally to let them go. And to be honest, these are about 6 or 7 years old. I do need to replace them. White jeans are obviously a bit of a staple in my wardrobe, but they simply do not fit, and I need to accept that and realize I don't know if I will lose the weight in the area that I need to so the zip doesn't pull, but it's time to take ownership and let these go. This one is a classic example of where I needed to learn a very valuable lesson. I bought this on Net-a-Porter, and it looked a lot whiter online than what it is in person. This is quite a grey white, and I should have at the time simply sent it back and got a credit note or changed it for something else, but I think I was really busy at the time, got distracted, and I thought it wasn't as bad as I thought. But after having it for a few more weeks and realizing, no, I actually don't like it, I should have been proactive and organized and not wasted time and simply sent that back. So that's a very valuable lesson for me to learn. And this I will probably put on eBay, which I can then put towards the $1,000 project. These two items I'm actually really sad about. I spilt bleach on this, so it got ruined, and I love the cut and style of this navy blue top. It's gorgeous, but again, it's got bleach stains on it. I can't wear it. It looks tatty with stains like that on it, and I just simply need to let it go, and in due course when I find something that I like just as much as this, I will replace it. Same goes for this thing. Now, this jumper. This is used to be one of my favorite jumpers, and was until I accidentally washed it with darks, and the white has gone a little bit bluey, greeny, grey and gross. And I have tried to fix this twice through the colour run, but it's simply not fixable. So I need to let it go, and I need to try and find a replacement for this one, because it is like a staple in my wardrobe that I loved. But again, just accepting that some things aren't meant to last forever, and if they're damaged, they aren't going to make you feel good when you're wearing them, because it doesn't send much self-love back to yourself. But yeah, I'm really sad to let this go, but again, it's about taking ownership and growing. And the final item that I want to share with you in my wardrobe that I'm deculling is this top. Now, I also spilled bleach on this, but that's not the point. Point is, my life is pretty busy and pretty crazy. I don't have time to constantly be ironing clothes or be constantly taking them to the dry cleaners, because that can become incredibly expensive. Now, this is another one of my really favorite tops, and it's one of my favorite colors, but it's one of those tops that has to be delicately ironed and takes a long time to iron to be able to be worn. And because of the neckline, it easily picks up makeup, which is slowly built up with a stain on the inside and actually on the outside. So next time, the lesson for me to realize is, next time I'm shopping, I've got to be more careful of the fabric that I'm buying. Is it dry cleanable? Can it be hand washed? Can it be machine washed? How easy it is to get the creases out? And is this practical and realistic to my very busy lifestyle with the dogs and Rocco and running my own business, working for myself? Now, these are just 3 areas that I looked at to show you as an example in decluttering my home: the kitchen, the bathroom, and my wardrobe. But there are other areas you shouldn't forget about. And these areas can be your book collection, your makeup, any sort of odd boxes you've got around with like cords and things that you're not quite sure about, your kids' toys, your kids' wardrobes, your car, your gym bag, even your handbag. There are so many areas in your life that you can declutter. And I promise you, when you embark on this, you really do get such a return on investment for your time taken to do this. I hope that I'm breaking down any walls of fear and anxiety and procrastination when it comes to decluttering and minimalizing and deculling your life. If you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe, and you're always welcome to share my videos with any of your friends and family members on social media. And if you like this video, please let me know, and I will do more inside my home showing you how I decull, minimize, and declutter my life.